Today's review is with the Garmin R10 with the recommended golf ball, the Titleist Pro V1 RCT ball. RCT standing for Radar Capture Technology. If you go to my channel, you'll see that I recently did a Garmin R10 review. This was just with a standard golf ball versus the GC3. We saw some really accurate readings, however we did see a couple of big gaps. So this is the recommended golf ball that Garmin recommend. TrackMan also recommend the Titleist RCT ball. It stands for Radar Capture Technology, and this Radar Capture Technology, if we have a look on the box, it's got a radar reflective marker built inside the golf ball. And essentially what that means, that just helps these launch monitors get a better spin reading. And if it can read the spin better, both the backspin and how that spin axis is tilted, then it can give you much better data on both carry distance, total distance, peak height, and it's going to give you a much better idea of your ball flight. So let's give these a try. We'll go straight to the numbers. We are going to hit 5 sand wedge shots, 5 7-irons, 5 drivers, compare the numbers, and then let's find out, are these worth buying? So we've got the Titleist RCT here, as you'll see, Radar Capture Technology. It's got the reflective markers built inside. It's to help pick up the spin rate even better. Let's find out how we get on. Here we've got sand wedge. We're going to hit 5 shots with the sand wedge, find out the carry distances with both GC3 versus Garmin. With the RCT ball, let's see what the numbers say. So, first shot we are going to hit, we're going to go full out. We're going to hit 5 full sand wedges. So that was really thin. That's a good one actually to get. So we were 104 yards of carry on Garmin, and we were 104 yards on GC3. So very, very close for a miss hit. Spin rate for Garmin was 8,112 and we were 7,950, so very, very close. Only a couple of hundred RPM out of that one. Pretty good strike, same flight on both monitors. Carry distance Carry was 90.5 on GC3, 83 yards on Garmin, so 7 yards of a difference. Spin on GC3 was 9,074. Spin on Garmin, 9,399. So 300 RPM of a difference, not too much on the shot. Bit of a difference in the carry distance, but spin rates were quite accurate. Next up, full shot. Tried to draw that one a little bit. Let's see what the numbers are saying. So we've got 9,100 of spin on GC3, 8,579 on Garmin. So 600 RPM out. Let's see what the ball flights were like. Similar, maybe a little bit more left with the GC3. 83 yards of carry again with Garmin, and 85 with GC3. So really close, 2 yards apart. Shot 4. Let's see what we got on that one. 88 yards carry on GC3, 88 yards carry on Garmin. So exact same carry distance again. Let's see what the spin rates say. So we got 8,233 of spin on Garmin, and we got 8,349 on GC3. So already, compared to my previous review with just the Garmin with no RCT ball, I'm already finding that the gaps are smaller, the carry distances match up a lot more. Already there's only really been one where there's been a bit of a gap. Definitely seems to be making a difference with the sand wedge. Let's go final shot with a sand wedge. We'll go for a 3/4 shot just to change it. Maybe not quite 3/4, maybe a bit small for that. So that carried 64.8 on GC3, and the carry distance was 63 on the Garmin. So again, 2 really close carry distances. Quite impressed with this RCT ball already. Spin rate was the closest it's been so far. It was 7,567 with Garmin, and it was 7,574 with GC3. So we're talking 7 RPM of a difference. The carry distance was like bang on. So already very impressed, much closer than the previous review. So they're sold. I mean, I've been using them to teach. I've been using them on my GC3. I bought them when I had my Garmin. Obviously we can see the difference in the numbers between this and the previous review. And if you haven't checked that video out, make sure you check out that video here. And I would definitely have a little look at that. There was some random big gaps. Doesn't seem to be happening so far. And that's what I've found when I've been using that. So obviously works really well. The reflective markers pick up the spin and gives you a much more accurate interpretation of your shot. And definitely makes that £500 launch monitor behave very much like a more premium, more expensive model. Right, let's go with the 7-iron. So full 7-irons, let's see what the difference is with the RCT ball. Right, we had some big gaps last time in the last video. If you watched that, you could definitely see some bigger gaps. So let's have a look at the mini map. Okay, full 7-iron. I'll put it 160 away on, or 170 on the launch monitor. There we go. Okay, full 7. Caught that one a bit heely, so it'll be a high spin rate on that one. So 145 on Garmin, 147 carry on GC3, so 2 yards apart. That's already a lot closer than some of the previous heel strikes in the other video. 6875 RPM on GC3, 6797 on Garmin. So again, so much closer with the carry distances, so much closer with the spin rates. So really good. Amazing how this golf ball, it's amazing that the difference that the spin rate can make and just being able to pick it up accurately. It's quite incredible actually. Obviously these golf balls are not cheap, but as you can see, if you're investing the money in a launch monitor, you're obviously keen on your golf and you want to try and get the most accurate numbers you can. So I would definitely, so far, recommend getting them. Right, let's go another one. Hit that one really nice. Lovely shot there. That sounded good. So check out the ball flights. Garmin gave me a little fade. GC3 gave me a little pull. It felt like a pull. Not far apart though. We had 155 carry distance on Garmin and 158 on GC3. 3 yards apart, not much at all. I would be happy with that. Spin rate, we had 6675 with the GC3. 6663 with Garmin. So 2 7-irons already. We didn't get as close as that with the Titleist normal Pro V1. We were nowhere near that in really any of the 5 shots. And already 2 shots in, they're much closer. Carry distances are closer. The spin rates are way closer. So it's looking good. It's looking really good. Shot number 3 with the 7-iron. That felt like a fade. Garmin's given me a fade as well. Same ball flight. 154 carry on GC3. 150 on Garmin. 4 yards apart. Not much at all. Spin on GC3. 7499. Spin on Garmin. 7536. So again, we're talking 37 RPM of a difference. It's nothing. It's negligible. It's almost identical. So that's after 3 shots. Really accurate. Quite impressed actually. It's amazing the difference one golf ball can make. Shot number 4. Shank. Oof. Awful. I tell you what, I hit that terrible. Really bad. Really bad, and they're quite close numbers actually. So it carried 140 on GC3 and it carried 139 on Garmin. That was a horrendous strike. The spin on GC3 was 6274 and the spin on Garmin was 6334. So I've just hit a horrendous shot. Felt like it was miles off the heel. Felt like I really pushed the handle and the hands well away from the body. And it's pretty accurate again. So that's 4 shots in. They've all been pretty close. Very impressive actually. Compared to the last one, The last review, there was a lot of gaps. If you watched that, it wasn't made up. It was all set up exactly the same way. And it is amazing the difference that this golf ball's making. Not endorsed by Titleist. Right, let's see if we can finish on a good one. So, set ourselves up. Let's see if we can flush this all the way down the pin. 179. Pulled it. Pulled it. Felt the face get really closed. Let's see if Garmin gave me a slightly different flight. It gave me a kind of pull, fade, started left and trickled to right. GC3 gave me a sort of pull left. That's what it felt like. Carry distances. So let's see, because the flights were different there. So pretty close. 163 on GC3. Nice rhyme. 165 on Garmin. 2 yards apart. Spin rate on GC3, 5925. Spin rate on Garmin, 5840. So, I mean, already compared to the other review, it's an enormous difference. It's set up the same way. It's set up versus the same machine and the same lighting. The only thing we've changed, not me, I've still hit a few funky shots, a few dodgy ones, and massive difference. In terms of the carry distances, they are much closer. In terms of spin rate, the gaps are tiny in comparison to the other review. So definitely worth getting. Already can see a difference with wedges and 7-iron. The real test will come with the driver. In the review with the Garmin, there was 1 or 2 drives that were like 40, 50 yards out. They were quite far out at times, occasionally. So let's try out this with the driver, with the RCT ball, and let's see what difference that makes. Okay, so shot number with driver. Garmin versus GC3 RCT, ready to go. Pulled it. Went straight on Garmin, went left on GC3. Distances wise, we've got 234 of carry on GC3. Garmin thought it went a bit longer. 246, so 12 yards apart. Not as big as the previous. Spin rates maybe didn't match up on that one. Spin rate on Garmin was 2615 and spin rate with driver was 1749. I know it was low, it definitely felt like it was off the toe. So GC3 was accurate, the spin rate dropped, the ball nosedived to the left. GC3 didn't quite catch that, but it wasn't far away. Again, in the review, in the last one, we did have some shots that were 60 yards apart. Okay, let's try the next one. Okay, 243 carry on Garmin, 246 carry on... Didn't get it. Oh no. Didn't get that one, scrap that. Right, are we ready? We're ready. Felt good. Identical ball flights. 253 carry distance on GC3, 248 on Garmin. 5 yards of a difference, pretty good. 2,500 RPM of spin on GC3 and 2.7 on Garmin. Couple of 100 RPM of a difference, not much. Similar ball flights, which is actually really good. Again, didn't have that quite as often on the review. Let's go shot 3, Garmin versus GC3. A little bit of a fade, Garmin didn't get it. That can happen sometimes. Okay, shot number 3. Little bullet. Get in the hole. 253 carry distance. GC3. 239 on Garmin, so a little bit less. Ball flight's identical. Spin on GC3. 2349. Spin rate on Garmin. Spin rate on Garmin 2637. So it was just a slightly higher spin rate. Again, couple of 100 RPM. Not much. Not these crazy differences we saw on the review. 2 more to go. Go. Go, 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 go. 264 on GC3. That didn't pick up on Garmin. Annoying. Oh, that was good as well. Hit that one nice. Annoying. That can just happen at times. Again, I'm going to keep this in the video because just want to be honest with you. That is what sometimes happens. No explanation for it. It just can sometimes not pick up. The light's green and then all of a sudden it just doesn't pick up. So it does happen at times. Not going to kid you on. You can see it's not been that much. We've got that one. Identical ball flights. 261 carry GC3. 250 on Garmin, so 11 yards apart. Spin on GC3, 2299 RPM and 1960 on Garmin. So again, couple of 100 RPM out. Not much at all. And we have one more shot. We've got one more shot to go, but it's already looking, I think we know the answer. It's looking much better than the review in terms of the numbers. So final drive, come on, give me a good one. Give me a super accurate ripped drive down the middle. Oh, come on, go. 2 on GC3 on Garmin, 17 yards apart. That's the biggest gap. Not crazy. Ball flights were similar, which is good. 2525 RPM on GC3 and 3735 on Garmin. So that's the first one that's been kind of outside 200-ish RPM of a difference. So if you've checked out the Garmin video, then you'll see that these numbers are a lot closer, both in carry distance. The spin rates are much closer. The ball flight that you see on the screen is a lot more accurate. They're closer together more often. If you haven't watched that video, make sure you check it out, because that is the reality of what can happen with Garmin with just a standard golf ball. If you spend the money and just pay, I mean, it is expensive, £70 a dozen. What you've got to remember is it's not like the £3 a ball, tee it up on the first tee and then there's a chance it's gone. You get one shot with it. You're not going to lose these. They're indoor golf balls. They will get a bit of wear over time and you will have to replace them, but they're worth it. You can see it, the numbers are much closer together. You've already spent the money on the Garmin. If you're buying the Garmin, you've invested that money. You want some data, you want a good launch monitor. This supplements it really well. So get the Titleist RCT balls if you can. £70 a dozen is the retail cost, but I would definitely recommend them. Much more accurate if you are indoors. Outdoors, you possibly don't need them quite as much. Indoors, I would get them. No questions asked. I would buy the Titleist RCT balls if I was you. If you have a Garmin, get them. If you like this video, make sure that you click the like button, subscribe to the channel, click the notification to make sure you're first to know about any future videos. Click that subscribe button, comment below what you think of this review. Have you got any questions on Garmin or the golf balls, and I'll get back to you.